afternoon, good evening, good middle of the night. I don't know, this could be self-help for insomniacs that can't sleep. Well, I'm here to help you, that's the good news. So within 5 minutes you should be well off to sleep with this. Well, anyway, we're going to show you around the shop and see what we've got. Here we have the Dennis Fisher range of toys, Cyborg, Mutant and Android. These are sort of the granddaddy for the Micronauts. Originally brought over from Japan, they were a Henshin Cyborg over there, and they were so cool that they went, we need them for the European and American market. And here we have the British manufacturer Dennis Fisher who took them on. And they're brilliant, they're great toys. Android there, he's probably the harder out of the group to get hold of. We've got some of the outfits as well. Torg's really cool. They're just a very cool line, and they influence so many toys. They were brilliant, and if anybody of a certain age that comes in, they will ask for these. So it's quite nice to have such a large group of them in. So plenty of choice, plenty of things to look at. We're going to see something else now, which has also got a weird Takara tie-in as well. The Topper Johnny 7 one-man army. This is a fantastic example of this toy. It's really nice. It's 100% complete as well, which is the hardest bit, and all original parts. So it's nice to have one in. It's been a while since we've had one in. I've got a special fondness for the Johnny 7 from years ago, finding one on a tip and basically not being allowed to have it. My mum took it off me as soon as I got in the house with it. But I do love the Topper Johnny 7. But it has got a weird Takara tie-in. The creator of this was a guy called Henry Orenstein, and he also was the guy that first spotted the Takara Diaclone Transformers at a toy fair and persuaded Hasbro that it would be a great idea for them to come over here. In fact, we'll put a link onto his Wikipedia page. You can look it up for yourself. The guy's amazing. Henry Orenstein was an absolutely fantastic man. It's well worth a read. If you're into toys, this guy was responsible for a lot of the things that we love. So yeah, the Johnny 7 one-man army. Here, but probably not for very long. So, these are the Matchbox Fighting Furies. What, you say? Matchbox? What were they thinking? Yeah, I know, I think exactly the same. You make cars very successfully, little die-cast cars, everybody likes them. You sell millions of them every week. Millions and millions and millions and millions. So they decide that they want to get in on the action where Mego and Big Jim and Lone Ranger and things like that. And in 1974 or 75, these bad boys came out. And as such, as it says on the back of the advertising blurb, the Fighting Furies strike fear into the enemies with their courage and clever disguises. Share the action-packed deeds of Captain Pegleg and Hook with the Fighting Furies adventure packs. There's an adventure booklet in each pack. You can make up your own story. There's also the Ghost of Captain Kidd, who isn't here. We don't have him, sadly. He's really rare, so he's always worthwhile picking up. And he's very cool, because you don't see him. However, Pegleg and Hook we do see a fair bit of. They're always loose, so when you find them, there will be arms flailing everywhere whenever you move them. We use doll stands to stand them up, and they do stand really well, and they look really cool. But yeah, it was an odd thing for Matchbox to do. I always think this. I always think it was like weird. So you do something really well, and then you branch out to something, and then kind of have a half-hearted attempt at it. There was no other range of figures really. But yeah, so there we go. Matchbox Fighting Furies. Covered that. Don't need to do that again now. Brilliant. Sorted. So having just covered the Fighting Furies, we move on some 10 years or so, give or take, and we get to this, the Indiana Jones range of figures. Now we don't have any of the 3 3/4 inch figures. When we did have those in last time, they sold so quickly, because in the UK we just don't see them. We don't see them in the wild. You don't go to somebody's house and they've got a collection of loose Indiana Jones when they were a kid, because they weren't here at that particular time. They were mostly brought across by collectors later. In the States though, it's a very different matter. But what did make it across here in small quantities was the 12 inch figure, and occasionally these do show up, and this is one of those. Very pleased with it as well, we are too. This one's unused, he's still attached inside the box, and he's a very cool figure. It always makes me think, this range of 9 inch figures from the Fighting Furies, and then we went to the 12 inch and the 3 3/4. By the time this was out, the 9 inch figures were pretty much done. There was no figures really being made, the 8 inch, 9 inch figures. Whereas the 12 inch figures, well, they were kind of at the end of their peak of their powers, because Action Man had got that sewn up, and G.I. Joe for so many years. But then the 3 3/4 world, well, this, by the time this came out, this is where it's at. So this is a bit of a dinosaur even for its time. So I quite like this, because already when it came out it was retro then. So how cool is it now? So that's it for this time. Thanks very much for watching. There are things you can buy, of course, on our eBay page, which is displayed resplendently underneath. Or it should be anyway, if Gav's done his job right. And also we've got put that link as well for that article about Henry Orenstein, which is very, very cool and well worth a read for those of you that are a bit of students of the toy world. What's one else to tell you? Well, there'll be plenty in for next time. We're already lining up the deals, ready to go, and hopefully you'll be able to enjoy the outtakes, which will be on in just a few seconds. But thanks very much for watching. You've been lovely. I've been Joe, and we will see you next time. Hello and welcome to the newest video in this collection of somewhat cluttering... start again. Hello and welcome to this, the latest video content from Leicester Vintage Toyshop, a cluster book... no, I can't say that. No, we've got to change that. Hold on. Go again. You ready? Singing. I'll come back to it in a minute. Well, I think we can tell we're getting old in this trade is when you start looking at stuff that you used to sell for a lot of money, which is now not worth a lot. Thanks very much for watching. Remember, we have our eBay videos. eBay videos? Ignore that. I don't know why I said eBay videos. We don't do any videos on eBay.